to connect with your breath. Okay, so think of this as like your pranayama exercise as you're starting off in tabletop, in cat and cow. So move in like a therapeutic sort of way. So you can hold cow pose for a few deep breaths, and then you can round your spine in cat and stay for a while. Maybe you kind of like wiggle around here in, you know, any of the poses. So you're kind of playing a little bit of the in between and the pauses of the stretches rather than just moving through them. Okay, so play a little bit in that way. It's always fun to play. Good. And it's also like this fun, like self-discovery also as you're moving. Okay. And you can also check in also, like, are your toes tucked under? Do you always have them tucked under? So what would it feel like if you pointed your toes back? Does that change anything? Do you feel the same, maybe less stable? Okay, again, just all about this place of discovery here in your cat and cow. Okay. And then maybe start to move around a little bit, maybe shifting from side to side. So you get little lateral stretches on the side body and the outer hips. Good, you can do this with a flat back. You can do this in a rounded back. And we're gonna let this cat and cow really start to move, okay? And again, moving not in a fast way, but we're gonna start to invite larger movement into our body. So maybe you're shifting back into child's pose. And then maybe you're rounding through cat pose, dropping your hips, coming up into a back bend, like into a high back bend. You can also walk your hands forward, so you can be in the low back bend. And then maybe you're still discovering this by moving around a little bit, and then you're shifting back through table. Okay, so again, moving in any way that you want to move, hanging out any positions you want to hang out in. I don't care if your shoulders are lifted. Okay, this is just a way for us to feel really good right now. Okay, you can be on your fist. You can, again, if you're coming in and out of cat and cow, or excuse me, child's pose, you can have your toes tucked under. So you start to get into those arches of the feet a little bit and stretching the toes. And again, we're not holding it for a long time. You know, we're kind of passing through a little bit, maybe pausing for a few breaths as we move in and out of our cat and cow. Variations, right? Good. Okay. Good. Just a few more moments again. So I'm going to tuck my toes under this next little round here again, just so I can get a little stretch through my ankles and my calves. I'm going to come into my back bend, and I have my toes tucked under still, just to see what it feels like. Again, it's just being in this play. Awesome. Good. I'm like already noticing that I don't do this enough. I already feel a lot of this in my wrist. So again, if you're a little bit like me in that way, you can always come up onto your fist. Sometimes blocks can help take the load off of your wrist as well. So again, just kind of check in here, okay? Okay. And then we're going to start to add a little bit of flowing now, okay? So find neutral spine. Right arm's going to reach up towards the sky, and we're going to thread the needle, okay? So I'm just going to do a couple like little wrist twirls here, just circling my wrist. And then I'm going to come into thread the needle, right arm under the left. Okay, squaring my hips off. I'm going to stay for about 2 deep breaths here. So inhale in through your nose. Exhale out. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Good. From here, I'm going to slowly come into a child's pose in this twist. Okay, so my hips gently just start to lower towards my heels. Maybe they, touch the heels. Maybe they don't. But I come into this child's pose variation of this twist. And then I stay here for 2 deep breaths. So inhaling in. Exhaling out. Good. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. this top arm, your left arm is going to come onto your low back. Okay, so you just use your, press your hand into your low back, and that's gonna help set you up to come up to standing on your knees and shins. So slowly start to rise up. Your right arm's gonna reach up over your head. And again, I'm using my hand to press my hips forward, lift my chest up towards the sky. And then exhaling, right hand lowers down. So you're in your tabletop, one arm table. And then left arm reaches up towards the sky. And again, I'm just gonna do a little like wrist circles or twirls, whatever, okay? Some flared wrist here, and then threading the needle, left arm under the right. So we're just switching sides, okay? So this is like our little flow. So here is like upright twist, hold for 2 deep breaths. And again, you can choose whatever you want to do with this right arm. I like to keep it under my shoulder for support. Last breath, inhale in. Exhale out, gently shift your hips towards your heels for a variation of like child's pose twisting, a little bit lower hips. And again, you're welcome to stay upright, whatever feels good for you here. Inhale in, exhale out, inhaling in, exhaling out. Good. Right hand comes onto your low back, and that hand helps press your hips down to help lift you up to come up to standing on your knees and shins. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Press your hips forward. Let the hand guide your hips up towards the sky. And then exhaling, left hand lowers down. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. And again, a few little circles here with the wrists. Threading the needle. Okay, we'll repeat that again. Threading the needle right under left. Inhaling in for 1. Exhaling out. Inhaling in for 2. Exhaling out. Good. Shifting the hips back. Maybe the left arm extends up over your head or up towards the ceiling. Just 2 deep breaths here. Inhaling in for 1. Exhaling out. Inhaling in for 2. Exhaling out. Good. Left hand lowers onto your low back to press your hips down to help you rise up. Coming up to kneeling. Right arm reaches up over your head. Exhaling, right hand down. Left arm up towards the sky, a few little circles with the wrist. Threading the needle, left arm under the right. Good. Pausing. 2 deep breaths. Inhaling in for 1. Exhale up. Inhaling in for 2. Exhaling out. Good. Hips gently shift back, just ever so slightly. Maybe this right arm extends up towards the top of the mat. Inhaling in for 1. Exhaling out. Inhaling in for 2. Exhaling out. Good. Right hand slowly joins your low back to press down to help you rise up. Left arm up over your head. Press your hips forward, chest up towards the sky. And then one last time. Okay, so 3 times all together. Left hand down, right arm up. Few little twirls. Good. And then threading the needle right under left. Hips gently shift back. Child's pose. Good. Left hand onto your low back. Unwind, reach back up. Right arm up over your head and lowering down. Left arm extends up, circling the wrist a few times. Threading the needle, left arm under the right. Good, breathe. Maybe even close your eyes and see how that feels with your eyes closed. Shifting your hips back. Right hand joins your low back to help you rise up. Take your time. Arm up over your head. Exhaling, hands lower down. Good. Coming back into your tabletop. Right leg is going to reach back behind us. Okay, we'll just rock forward and backwards a few times. Okay. I know for me, depending on my feet, I really gets into my calves, but sometimes it gets into my Achilles a little bit too, rocking in this way. Okay, good. Left arm, okay, shoulders over your wrist, excuse me, left arm up over your head, and then slowly start to float your right toes up off the mat. Okay, let's breathe here. Inhaling in, exhaling out. See if you can lift away from the floor a little bit more. Inhaling in, Exhaling out, get a little bit longer. Inhaling in. Exhaling out, good. From here, 3 taps, elbow towards your knee, round your spine. Inhaling, opening up, just 3 taps. Exhaling, elbow towards your knee, round your spine. Last one, inhale, reach out. Exhale, elbow towards your knee. Slowly reach that left arm up over your head. Keep those right toes, the right leg lifted. Lower your left hand down. And if you can, okay, we're gonna switch into side plank on the left side. If you need to lower these right toes down and do it, that's fine. But see if you can keep your right leg lifted and start to stack your hips. Coming into side plank on the left side, right leg will be lifted. So again, if you're like, I can't do that, just lower your foot down and then stack your hips and lift your leg up, okay? Okay, from here, we're going to, as best as we can, this right leg, we're gonna just bend it 5 times. So we're just doing like a little hamstring curl, bending your right knee and then extending it back out, okay? Right heel comes towards your glutes and extending back out nice and slow. Here's 3, we're just moving in a slow way. Good, extending back out. Here's 4. Back out, last one, 5, little hamstring curl, hip strength opener, extending back out. Good, hold here for 3 counts, okay? Just 3, 2, and 1. Right foot lowers down onto the mat. Okay, we're gonna take this right arm up and over, arcing like a rainbow for this nice big side body bend. Good. You want to, you can cradle your head with your hand. You can drop your head, make it nice and heavy, but really think about your hips lifting up towards the sky. Your right rib cage, right? The right side of your rib cage lifting up a little bit more. Okay, great. And then we're just gonna lower down, nice and slow, lower that right hand down, square your hips back off. Okay, and then we're just going to switch sides, okay? So I'm gonna turn just so I can keep facing you all. We're gonna extend the left leg out and just rock forward and backwards just a few times. Woo! Throwing in some stability work right away. Okay, shoulders over the wrist, right arm up over your head. And then when you're ready, those left toes will float up off the mat. And think about those toes down, heel up, abdominals in, and just holding, just breathing in. And exhaling out. Good, breathing in. Exhaling out. Last breath, inhaling in. Exhaling out, good. From here, adding the elbow and the knee to touch. So nice big deep inhale in. Exhaling, elbow, knee comes in, round your spine, and reach right back out. Elbow, knee comes into tap, round your spine. Inhale, stretch out, last one. Exhale, elbow towards your knee, round your spine. And then reaching right back out. Keep your left leg lifted, right hand lowers. And then slowly coming into side plank from here. And again, I'm gonna practice keeping my left leg floating, but you can always ground it. And then side plank on the right side. Take your time. Okay. Good, okay, and then maybe once those left toes lift up off the mat, we'll do our little 5 little hamstring curls, okay? So keeping the leg as level as possible, we're gonna bend the left knee and then straighten it. Good, just nice and slow. Right? It's like a double whammy. We got to find some stability in our core, and then we got to find stability in our hips here. Keep breathing, just 2 more. Nice and slow, nice and gentle. Good, last one, curling in, and then reaching out, and then just holding for 3 counts. So 3, 2, and 1. Left leg lowers, left arm reaches up and over, arcing like a rainbow for this nice big like stretchy side plank, and you can cradle your head if you want to with your top hand. Yeah, puff up those ribs a little bit more. Breathe. This should feel really good. Great. And then take your time, look down, you'll lower back down, and when you're ready, we're gonna come into our first downward facing dog. Okay, yeah, if you need to roll your wrist out first, totally fine, okay? I know a lot of hand stuff to begin here with. Okay, and again, just like we did at the beginning, okay, think of your, downward dog in like a therapeutic way. So definitely make sure to like pedal your feet out, sway your hips from side to side. but also, keep your knees bent. Okay. Take some load off. Make sure you're, nice and even with your weight here. So not all the weight's in your hands. You want a lot of it in your legs, right? So take a lot of that weight off of our wrist. Okay. Let's inhale in through our nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. Last one. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. And then we're going to take our time. We're going to slowly step up to the top of our mat. Go slow. Walking, stepping to the top. Hanging out here in your forward fold. Sway your hips from side to side. Figure 8, spinning one leg then the other. Okay, great, everyone. Okay, let's go and release our arms down and bend your knees, and we'll slowly roll up to come all the way up to standing. Go nice and slow, take your time. Arms reach up over your head, and exhaling, hands at your heart center. Inhaling, arms reach up over your head. Exhaling, folding forward, nice big forward fold. From here, we're going to step the right leg back behind us, coming into low lunge. Okay, take your time. Back knee drops down. We're going to dip the hips, roll the shoulders, lift the chest and the heart when you're ready. Okay, arms can reach up over your head. Take your time. Okay, great. Keeping your shoulders square to the top of your mat. Okay, we're going to take this left hand down onto our quad, and we're just going to reach up and over to the left. So again, we're side bending, try not to twist, try to stay nice and square. So again, we get into this like right side rib cage here. Okay. Yeah, and if you want to, you can even grab, your right wrist if you want to lean over this in this way. You can stay supported. Maybe your fingertips can touch the ground. Again, not compromising your shoulders, staying nice and square. Okay, good. We're going to do the exact same thing to the other side, okay? So we're going to come on up, and then right hand down. It's like in line with your right hip, and left arm up and over, which is different than twisting, right? So right hand's forward, and you twist. We want to stay nice and square in this side body stretch. Good. Maybe you go a little bit deeper this way, just because, you don't have your leg in the way. Good. Well, let's rise up nice and slow. Hands are going to frame the left foot. We're going to straighten the left leg, coming into half split. Nice. Good. Flexing the toes up towards the sky. Again, soft bend in the left knee or big bend, that's fine. Okay, just, stretching the hamstrings here. Good. Breathe. Good. Nice full deep breath. Okay, great, everyone. We're going to bend into this left knee. Okay, hands are going to move into the inside of the left foot. Okay, right toes tuck under. We're going to lift the back knee up. Okay, so we're just like in this high lunge with the hands in the inside of the left foot. Okay, stay here for just a moment. Really think about dipping the hips, rolling the shoulders, lifting the chest and the heart. Breathe. Okay, good. Transitioning into extended side angle. Right heel grounds, okay? And then from here, you can bring your left forearm onto your left quad, and you can reach those right fingertips up towards the sky for extended side angle here, okay? Good. Or you can keep this left hand down in front of your foot, okay? Whatever you're choosing, just choose to breathe. And again, think about that little side planks that we did, okay? Really think about like lifting up through your ribs, creating more space through the left side, just as much as that right side. Good. Breathe here. Breathing, breathing, breathing. On your next inhale, slowly rise up, warrior 2. Good. Woo, strong legs, everyone. Okay, let's take a break. We're going to straighten the left leg, arms reach up over your head. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the left leg, reach those arms up over your head. Exhale, warrior 2. Okay, last one, straighten the left leg, arms reach up over your head. Exhale, warrior 2. Pause here, breathe. Soften the shoulders. Good. From here, straighten the left leg. Triangle pose, reaching those left fingertips forward, left hand onto your shin, right arm up towards the sky. Okay, and I'm gonna take a little more active approach to my triangle pose, okay? So instead of, I'm thinking of like touching the ground and relying on my flexibility, I'm actually gonna bring this left hand to my chest and half, prayer here. So I'm really thinking about lifting up through my core and really finding stability in my feet. Okay, so I don't go down as low, but that's okay. A little baby triangle. Good, let's just stay for another inhale. Good, exhaling from here, we're going to bend this left knee. Hands are gonna drop into the inside of the left foot. We're gonna walk to the long edge of the mat, so hands just move to the center. Turn those left toes in. And just fold forward. Taking a nice little break here, okay? Yeah, knees can be bent. You can shift around from side to side. Doing little skandasanas, side lunges if you wish. Anything goes here, okay? Whew, a lot on that left leg, okay, but just building some strength. Again, building some heat. So we can get nice and stretchy here at the end, okay? Getting into the hips, okay? Good, staying for just a few more deep breaths. Okay, great, everyone. Okay, from here, go and bring your hands under your shoulders, lift up about halfway. We're gonna walk our hands around our right foot. So we're walking to the opposite side of our mat here, hands around the right foot. We're gonna bend the right knee, drop the back knee. Okay, so we're in low lunge on the right side. Dip the hips, roll the shoulders, reach those arms up over your head. Okay, good, breathe here. Good, and then we'll do those little side bend stretches again. Stay true to your square shoulders here. Right hand on your right quad. Left arm just reaches up and over, side bending to the right. And just breathe. Good, and again, remember you can grab a hold of your left wrist or maybe your right fingertips, can touch the ground. Okay, just don't compromise those shoulders. Good. Inhale in. Exhale, release, and we're gonna go to the other side. Again, side bending. Left hand down, right arm up and over. Okay, it should feel very different than a twist. It's like getting into the side body, the hips a little bit. Good. From here, let's rise up, frame the right foot, straighten the right leg, half split. Ardha Hamanasana, toes flex up towards the sky if that feels okay. And just breathe. Good, a few more deep breaths. Okay, great. We're gonna bend back into this right knee. Okay, hands are gonna move into the inside of the right foot. We'll tuck the left toes under to lift the back knee up, coming into a nice little high lunge with the grounded hands here. Good, and again, think about dipping the hips, rolling the shoulders, lifting the chest and the heart, so we're getting active in our legs. And then it's just really prepping us so we feel strong for our side angle pose. So left heel grounds. So it's like we're doing our warrior two legs. And then right forearm can come on top of your right quad. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Or you can unfurl with your right hand down, left arm up towards the sky. Good. Good. Your choice, just breathe. And again, think about all that space we're creating in our side bodies. Whew. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Hold, hold, hold. Finding that pause, that stillness in the pause. Good. Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Lots of strength, I know. Good. And then here's our little flow. Straighten the right leg, Arms reach up over your head. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, lift up, straighten that right leg. Exhale, warrior two. Last one. Inhale, lift up, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Okay, and just holding. Just for three, for two, and one. Good. Straighten that right leg, triangle pose. Right fingertips reach towards your right shin. And then again, you know, whatever you're working on, again, I'm going to work on my balance and a little bit of stability here. So I'm going to bring my right hand to my chest. I'm going to lift up a little bit higher than normal, right? Then kind of worried about how low I go. I'm going to go up a little bit higher. So I feel my core kick in. Breathing here, finding stability. Great. Okay, let's release. And from here, we're going to release into downward facing dog. Okay, so cartwheel your hands around that right foot. Gently step back, downward dog your way. Okay, so I'm going to take a vinyasa. I'm going to do a little modified one with my knees bent. Okay, but we're all just going to meet in downward dog. However you want to journey there. Good, nice full deep breath, whatever you're choosing. You can also choose to sit back on your heels or child's pose. It's great. So, inhaling, looking up at your hands. We're going to gently travel to the top of our mat. Lengthen up halfway. Exhaling, folding forward, forward fold. Inhaling, we'll slowly rise up to come all the way up to standing. Exhaling, hands at your heart center. Okay, good. Inhaling, arms reach up over your head. Okay, new idea. Exhaling, folding forward, forward fold. Stepping this left leg back. Okay, we're going to dip the hips, drop that back knee down, roll the shoulders, lift our arms up over our head. Okay, good. Good, 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 everyone. Okay. Okay, from here, we're going to twist. Okay, so now we're going to frame our hands around the right foot, left hand down, right arm up towards the sky, or you can even bring your right hand onto your quad and really twist your shoulders. Okay, so you want to stack the shoulders. Good, we're going to stay here for just a few deep breaths in this low lunge. When you're ready, back toes can tuck under and you can lift the back knee up, coming into a high revolved lunge. Okay, good, and breathe. Nice, full, deep breath. Good, hands frame that right foot. We're gonna straighten the right leg, wide leg pyramid pose, okay? And whatever, however you wanna do this. If you wanna keep this back heel lifted, that's great. If you wanna step it in a little bit so you feel a little bit more supported in pyramid pose, that's fine. Just whatever hamstring stretch you wanna take, okay? Knees can be down if you want, half split. Just, kind of changing up the variation, but you're welcome to take any of those that feel good for your body, okay? Just slow down, just breathe. Okay, good. Kind of switching up all my angles here for you all, okay? Okay, great. Okay, we're gonna bend into this right leg, okay? Hands again are gonna move to the center of, inside of your right foot, and we're gonna walk to the long edge of the mat, so we're gonna spin those right toes in line with the left, and we'll fold forward again, nice and gentle here. Okay. And just breathe. Okay, hands under the shoulders, lift up about halfway. We're gonna come into side lunge, bending the left knee, just because we just did the hamstring stretch on the right side. So we're gonna bend the left knee, keeping the right leg straight. Okay, you can lower down onto your forearms if you'd like. Just getting a nice little stretch to the inside of that right inner thigh. Feet can stay parallel, okay, just like how I'm doing it. I'm not going super low, but it's pretty effective. getting a nice big stretch to the inside of my right inner thigh. Or you can turn your toes out ever so slightly and then, you know, drop the hips a little bit, and then you can flex through the right toes if you want to move in side lunge this way as well, okay? Good, and for today, heel can be lifted or grounded, okay? I just want us to feel this nice stretch through this right inner thigh. Good. Just breathe. Think about your weight shifting forward a little bit, okay, so that, you know, we're not sitting down, right? We want to stay lifted for this version today. Okay, awesome. From here, we're going to lift our hips back up. We're going to start to travel to the left side of our mat, okay, around our left foot. So hands move around the left foot. We're going to come into that low lunge. Take your time. Drop the back knee, dip the hips, roll the shoulders, reach your arms up over your head. Good. And then twisting, right hand down and the inside of your left foot, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Good. Staying for about 2 or 3 deep breaths here in the low lunge. Back toes tuck under, lifting the back knee up. And breathe. Good, hand frames the left foot, straightening the left leg, wide leg pyramid pose. And again, if you want to feel more stable, you can ground the right heel down, step it in a little bit. Good, just coming to that pyramid pose, that hamstring stretch. Any version is fine. Just breathe. Got a few more deep breaths on this side. Ooh, lots of movement today. So really like enjoying, you know, these moments of like slowing down and pause. Okay, good. We're gonna bend into this left knee, hands to the inside of the left foot. We're gonna go to the long edge of the mat. Good, spin those toes in, heels out. And again, any variation of your forward fold you want to take, grabbing your ankles, your big toes. You can even interlace your hands behind your back. Oh, that feels really good. We didn't do like a ton of chest openers, so you know, we did some shoulder stuff and twisting, but yeah, that feels good. Anything you all want to do before we get into this side lunge. Good. A few more deep breaths. Lower your hands under your shoulders and we'll move into side lunge. Okay, for the left leg, so we're gonna bend the right knee. And again, you can play with keeping the feet parallel, which is straight on toward like they're facing the long edge of your mat. Okay, you can play in this way to see how that feels versus dropping your hips all the way down. Or again, you know, I'm gonna do both variations. So I'm gonna keep my feet parallel here at first, kind of play with shifting into my forearms. So my hips, you know, kind of stack up over my shoulders. I haven't been inverting too much lately, but I kind of want to get back to that practice. So practicing that. And then you can rotate your toes out, knees out for a slight rotation, coming into this nice low lunge. Knees will, you know, face up towards the sky. Good. And then you can drop your hips a little bit more. Okay. I feel a stretch with both positions with my feet parallel and then rotated out. So like neutral feet and then externally rotated. I feel a stretch equally. They're both different. So I like to play with kind of experiencing the stretches in different ways. Good. Marin, that's her name, the teacher's name that, that we're gonna do the stretch for our calves and our feet that she taught. That's her name. I learned it in one of her yoga classes. Oh my gosh, so long ago. Marin. Okay, everyone. Okay, from here, we're gonna lift our hips back up. Okay, turn your feet in. Fold forward one last time here. Inhaling, lift up halfway. We're gonna walk our hands over to the left side of our mat. Okay, we're gonna come into a vinyasa or a downward dog. Okay, so moving into downward dog your way. Okay, didn't really plan a ton of vinyasas for us today. I know we did a lot of hands and knee things here, okay? Good, and then just take a few deep breaths here in downward dog. Okay. I'm gonna try to move this a little bit closer so you all can see me for this next version we're doing. Okay, so lower down onto your knees. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start on all fours, okay? And I'm gonna do my left leg first, okay? So I hope this is close enough for you all, okay? Okay, so my right shin. So I'm gonna focus on my right shin. I'm going to rotate my right knee out, and I'm gonna bring my shin just to the top part of my calf, okay? And then again, I'm gonna face this way so you can see my shin's right at the top of part of my calf. And then I'm gonna sit back like I'm coming into like a child's pose. And you'll feel it right away, like, woo, okay? And then you can kind of pulse here gently, kind of just moving in a, gentle way, keeping the right shin just right above the left calf, right? So I'm not really in the knee joint, okay? We don't wanna come into that hinge joint there. We wanna really focus on the meaty part of our calf here, okay? And we're just gonna work our way down our left calf, okay? So I'm gonna just bend one more time up here up top here, okay? And then I'm gonna shift forward and I'm gonna move my right shin down my calf. And then I'm just gonna, again, just kind of come in and out of, like a child's pose, okay? Good. Yeah. And I'm just pulsing. You don't have to. You can kind of hang out if you're like, oh, I don't feel it and you want a little bit more stretch. You're welcome to pause and also like vibrate, stuff that we've been working on, shifting around from side to side. I don't know if you can see me as well. I know the sun's like right, like right on me. So I'm kind of just sitting back and then just jostling. And again, I'm moving very mindfully so I don't hurt myself or give myself a cramp or anything, okay? Good, and then I'm gonna come on up and then I'm gonna come to like the center of my calf with my right shin. And I'm sitting back, good. And then this one is really tender. It's right like in that gastrocnemius, okay, muscle. So I have to be really gentle here. And I'm really bearing a lot of weight in my arms, okay? So that, that's holding my weight up, okay? Yeah, and I'm gonna shift a little bit from side to side because that feels good to me. But again, you can just go forward and backwards. Whew. And I'm already feeling this obviously in my calf, but I'm starting to feel it open up in my arches as well in my feet and that left foot, okay? Good. Okay, I'm gonna shift forward. I'm gonna move that shin down underneath the meaty part of my calf. So getting to like the top of the Achilles. This is where it can get a little tender and a little tricky, and I do feel it in my top ankle a lot, okay? Good. I forgot to note, if you want to roll up your yoga mat for extra padding, you can, or, blanket or anything, you can do that as well. So this is like foam rolling our calf without a foam roller. Did you know your body could be a foam roller? I did not. Good. Okay, great. And then I'm gonna get to just the top of my ankle, barely. I'm not really getting into the heel too much. It's a little tender there for me, so I kind of have to be gentle and play here a little bit. Whew. You can pause, you can breathe, you can pulse, you can vibrate, but whatever you're choosing, make sure it's really subtle and with control. Okay, we're not like bouncing. Okay, this is like, for me, this is like an extremely intense stretch. So, just got to be careful and mindful. Okay. Let's come on up, back to all fours, uncross your legs, and then take that left leg, okay, straighten it back and just rock forward and backwards a few times. Good, and let's right away, let's go to the other side, okay? So go ahead and bend your knees, okay, and then we're gonna work on that right calf, and again, you know, we're gonna work in sections here, so the top, not directly behind the knee, so right below it, and we're gonna kind of work our way down our calf, nice and slow. So left shin's gonna come across, so I'm just rotating my knee out to the side so I can bring my shin right up behind up on top of my calf here, and then I'm just gently shifting my hips, woo, back. This side is tight. And I'm gonna shift a little bit forward and backwards, okay? That's just because that's what feels good to me. And I try to cross my foot over enough so I'm not in my ankle joint. I'm really using my shin bone to be my little foam roller here, okay? Good. Oh, man. Notice your sides, notice the difference. Always have that dominant leg, right? But you always step forward with, or if you trip, you know how you catch yourself. Okay, good. I'm just gonna do a few more pulses here just so I'm nice and even. Sometimes since we know what to expect with this one, we tend to rush the second side, and I wanna make sure we really take our time on both sides, like we're discovering it all new again, okay? Woo, right. Okay, I'm just gonna start to slowly move this left shin down across the right calf, and again, you know, I'm using my arms to help keep my hips lifted. You know, try not to muscle it too much. Good. So on this side, I'm noticing like my knee can be down and my toes can be down to kind of balance myself out. So, you know, it's a little bit different on this side, balancing. Okay, good. And then I'm really going to get into the center of this calf. So I'm getting right in the center as I move down and then sitting back. Whew. Yeah, I start to notice right when I get to the center of the calf, I start to notice a lot of things opening up, and like I said, like in my feet a little bit here. Good. I hope this helps with some cramping of the feet and the lower legs. That's where I always get my cramps after flying all day. I definitely get a lot of cramps in my feet too. Ugh. Woo. I don't know about you guys. I'm also having like a hot flash on this side. This one's really intense on the side. Okay, good. And then I'm gonna come on up, and then I'm gonna work down a little bit. Now it's not as meatier as you start to move down. So again, just, you know, be mindful of that Achilles tendon. You know, you can kind of just be a little bit more gentle. Okay, maybe not put your whole weight on it, kind of just test it out. Good. Good. And then I'm gonna get to that last little spot, not quite on the ankle, but just right above the heel. I probably got a couple of finger spaces to get into that Achilles a little bit. Wow. That side was a lot harder for me. Good. All right, take your time. Whew. Come on out of it. Unwind your legs. We'll extend that right leg out and just shift back and forth. Wow. Good. Okay, awesome. And then from here, you're just gonna bring your knees under your hips, tuck your toes under. And you know, we're not gonna come into like a full broken toes, but I just want us to get a nice little stretch in our feet here. So go ahead and just shift your hips back over your heels. And then I like to kind of tread my feet. So it's like I'm kind of walking my heels back, my knees lift up just a little bit. It's a nice calf stretch for me, more so than like my toes, but we're just gonna hang out here for the stretch. If you want to rise up, you're more than welcome to come up on your knees, or on, yeah, sitting up on your hips. I'm going to stay down. Good. When you're ready, downward facing dog. And in this downward dog, I want, again, for you to just observe how your calves feel, the backs of your legs. Whoa. Just notice the difference here. Okay. Good. Are you more tender? Noticing more tightness? Okay, just really check in. Okay. Okay, from here, we're going to take our right leg. We're going to reach it up towards the sky. And the right foot's going to step to the outside of our right hand, our right wrist. Okay, so, you know, my knee is out a little bit here. I'm going to come into this little side plank variation. So I'm going to roll over onto the outer left side of my foot. And I'm going to bring my right hand on top of my right knee. And I roll over onto the pinky side of my toe. And I'm going to lift my hips up so I get this nice little stretch through the outer right hip. And again, I'll kind of do this on the side angle here. Good. And you're welcome to reach this right arm up and over. You can cradle your head with your hand. My right toes are gently turned out to the right, so they're a little externally rotated so we can get into this right hip. Okay. Good. Breathe. Lift the hips up a little bit higher. Good. You can always keep both hands down if you need to. Okay, we're going to come back to neutral here. Okay. And we're going to come into pigeon pose on the right side. Okay. I'm just going to pick my foot up and bring my right knee towards my wrist and lower down. But you are welcome to come through, you know, low lunge, walk your foot over. And here we are in pigeon on the right side. Okay. And just fold over right away. Okay. I just want us to get into like relaxing. That calf stretch is super intense. Okay. And just breathe. Oh. So we did that active outer right hip stretch into pigeon pose, where we can find a little bit of release, a little bit of softness, pausing, relaxing. Can you take some big, deep exhales, big inhales, softening any tension in your face and your shoulders. And of course, any variations you all want to take, go for it. You know, we did thread the needle. We can, you know, do a little thread the needle here to kind of tie it all together. So you can bring your left arm under the right, you know, and then right fingertips can reach up towards the top of your mat. Oh, that feels really good, actually. Yeah, any versions. If you want to do a little quad stretch here, that's fine. A sleepy quad stretch. Anything you'd like. We really packed it in today. A lot of movement at the beginning of class. Okay. So take that time to really unwind and connect with your breath. Slowly start to walk your hands under your shoulders to lift up. Okay. And then we're just going to meet back in downward dog. Okay. So you're going to take your time. If you want to do another vinyasa, you're more than welcome to. Okay. Again, I didn't plan too many today. So move in a way that feels good. Okay. And then all we're going to do in downward dog, once we all meet there, left leg lifts up towards the sky. Left leg steps to the outside of the left wrist. So again, it's like that high lunge that we did. My left toes just gently turn out to the left. I'm going to ground through my right hand like I'm going to come into side plank, right? So I spin on the outside of my right foot. I lift my hips up and my hand can be on my left knee. Okay, I'm stretching the outer side of this left hip, or I can take my arm up over, maybe cradling my head if that feels good. Okay, any version here, just getting that nice stretch through the outside of the left hip, most importantly. Okay, good. Lower your hands down, gently come back to neutral, and then slowly make your way into pigeon pose on the left side. And again, I'm just going to use my core to lift my knee up and my foot up, and I'm going to lower my left knee down towards my left wrist, bumping my right hip back, and slowly folding forward over my left hip for pigeon pose on the second side. Any wiggles, any shifting around from side to side. Again, all of these vibrations, movement, I encourage them so you can find a little bit more release. You can find some of those sweet spots. Okay. But again, you know, when we're moving in this way, when we're finding those vibrations, you know, we're moving with intention, not to fidget, just to fidget, right? We're choosing to shift from side to side, not because you're bored, right? Good. And then just breathe. Find softness in your chest and in your shoulders and in your face, especially. Really soften your face, soften your tongue. And then if you want to, you know, add any variations or a little thread the needle, right arm under the left, all is welcome. More moments on this side. And we're going to come out of this pigeon pose on this left side differently. So just take a moment. You know, you don't have to come out of it right this second, but just, we're going to come out of it right onto our backs. So just think of, you know, a way in your body that, you know, will feel good. And we're going to meet on our backs. Okay, so take your time. Now walking your hands underneath you. Okay, or like gently like rolling over onto your back. Okay, bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice little hug here, rocking from side to side. And slowly extend your legs out onto your mat, arms out, palms up. And just take a moment to close your eyes. Take a nice big deep inhale in through your nose. Big exhale out through your mouth. Slowly start to just come back to your natural rhythm of your breath. And check in with your body. How does it feel? Does it feel the same as when you first started class? Does it feel different? Do you feel supported by your mat, by the ground and the earth? What parts of your body is there space? Where there's a little extra weight and groundedness? Where there's lightness? Okay. Maybe there's parts that still feel stuck. legs, really observing your body as a whole, starting from the crown of your head, through your chest and your arms, your back, your core, your hips, the backs of the legs, the tops of the legs, all the way through your ankles and your toes. Just observe and notice. And with your eyes closed, okay, start to circle just your ankles. Okay, circle your feet. And then circle your feet in the other direction. Good. And then point both your toes, point your foot down, and then flex your feet, toes up towards the sky. Point your toes and flex. One more time, pointing and flexing. Good, relax your legs, and then just circling the wrist. Okay, just circling a few times, or little twirls, as I was calling them earlier today. And then go ahead and twirl or circle in the opposite direction. And slowly reach your arms up over your head. Flex through your hands, and then point through your hands, just like you did with your feet. Flexing and pointing through your hands and your wrists. Good. And then slowly start to shift your head from side to side and move my arms back out to my side. Good. And then start to bend your knees and start to hug your knees into your chest. Make your way onto your side. And we'll slowly come up to a seated position. Okay. Just a nice, comfortable seated position. Just take a moment to notice just like how it feels to sit, maybe like wiggle a little bit. Good. Bring your hands together at your heart center. Okay, just recognizing change and transformation in your body. Let's take a nice big deep inhale in through our nose. Big exhale through your mouth. And so we just begin to smile in honor of your practice. Namaste, everyone. Thank you.